Hello, guys. Welcome to this episode. It's your go-to code guy wisdom, and in this episode, we are going to continue talking about the for loop, and then we were able to run a program in the last episode, okay, without explaining what we did. So in this episode, I'm going to try to explain what happened in the last episode, the program that was run in the last episode. So we are going to rerun this now to refresh our minds to see what we did in the last episode. So when we run this by hitting on the play button, it asks us to impute a number, right? When we say 7, it returns the square of that number. When we say 6, it returns the square of that number. And when we say 3, it returns the square of the number and says, this is the end of our for loop program. Okay, that's what we did in the last episode. If you are yet to see that, you can go over to the collection tab on TikTok if you're watching from TikTok and check that out because I've created a collection about that. And then if you are watching from YouTube, I've created a playlist for that as well also. So guys, how did we do what we did in the last episode? Okay, so remember this is a very very familiar statement for a in range 3. Whenever we see something like this, it's something we want Python to repeat this like 3 times. Okay, so for a is our variable, remember, in range 3, that is 3 times. Whatever that comes after this line indented, whatever that comes after this line indented, don't forget that, indented in the sense that whatever that comes and then it's before whatever statement or write-up that comes or code, it begins with 4 spaces. That's what indentation mean. Okay, so don't forget that. So these two things, line 2 and line 3, are the things that will be repeated 3 times. So those are the things that will happen or occur thrice. Line 4 will not occur thrice because it's not indented. It starts just exactly where our for loop statement starts from. So line 4 will not occur or be repeated thrice. We are going to only repeat line 2 and line 3 because of the indentation that comes after our for loop statement. And remember that after our for loop statement, this line here, there's a colon. So don't forget to always put a colon there because that's how it works. That's how it works in Python. So there's the colon, then what comes next after the indentation is what is going to be repeated thrice. If we were to have 5 lines here, and then the next thing that comes after this line, this num line, the next thing that comes is indented. It's also going to be repeated 3 times. So take note of that. So what we've done in line 2 here is we created a variable and then asked Python that we want to take a number input from this user. That's the reason for the eval and the input here. And then we want to also make a statement to the user to say impute a number, and then we have the method here, the backlash and the end, to say the inputs that the user will make should be on another line to make our code beautiful. Okay, and then in the third line here, we want Python to print out the square of your number is num asterisk num. Remember, this asterisk is an operator that means multiplication in Python programming language. So what happens is after the impute a number, when the user imputes a number on another line here with this method, then it prints out num times num. That is the variable, the input the user has made times the same input. So the input made, if the user makes 6 as an input, it returns 6 by 6. Okay, remember our Python works just the same way as our calculator, regular calculator works. And then in the fourth line that is not indented, this is what, after this 2 and 3 have occurred thrice, then the program ends with, because this fourth line is not indented, the program ends with it to say print, this is the end of our for loop program. Okay, we are going to run this program again, And then because this episode is getting long, so it's taking too much time, so we are going to run it again. And I'm going to, in the next episode, run something smaller, a smaller program to give us a better understanding of how this works. So, but we're going to run this again to see. So remember, it asks us to impute a number, and then when we see 3 on another line and hit on enter, it tells us the square of your number is 9. Okay, it asks us to impute a number again, and we see 5, hit on enter, it tells us the square of your number is 25. Asks us to impute a number again, we see 4, and hit on enter, it says the square of your number is 16. That has happened thrice. That is line 2 and line 3 have happened thrice. And then it executes with, or the program ends with, by saying this is the end of our for loop program. So that's it for this episode, guys. So I'm going to, in the next episode, create something smaller, a smaller program to give us a better understanding of everything that happened here. But I believe this one would have taken you a bit closer to the understanding level, your understanding level. So in the next episode, I'm going to come up with something much more better and less complex than what we have in this episode. So that's it for this episode, guys. I've not missed out anything, but I'll be in the comment section and the description. Bye for now, guys.